Hello learner, welcome to this video resource on syllogism topic. Syllogism is one of the very important topic for banking and insurance examination. If anyone preparing for SBI, IBPS, LIC and RRB and other exam, it will be very useful for them. One can expect minimum 5 questions from this topic. Sometimes it may go up to 10 questions as well. So this is module 1 in our syllogism series. So stay tuned for more videos on this topic. Agenda is, so firstly we will understand what is syllogism. Second, we will see the types of statements in syllogism. Next, we shall see how to represent these statements in a form of Venn diagrams. After that, we will see the types of conclusions and try to build a conclusion table. At last, we will be discussing about the minimum overlap diagram. First of all, we shall understand what is syllogism. Syllogism is a process of arriving at a conclusion based on given 2 or 3 premises or propositions or statements. We can call any of these 3 here. In standard syllogism, usually the first 2 statements are called the propositions, or for our understanding we can take it as statements, and the last one will be a conclusion. For example, here all men are mortal, Socrates is man. So these 2 are propositions. Socrates is mortal. This is the conclusions which we can derive from given 2 propositions, that is all men are mortal and Socrates is a man. Same way, all planets are revolving the sun. Saturn is a planet. Since Saturn is a planet and all planets are revolving the sun, obviously we can derive that Saturn also revolves the sun. In syllogism, basically we have only 4 types of statements. So that is all A are B, no A are B, some A are B and some A are not B. For all we can say all roses are tomatoes, no cakes are sweets, some pencils are apples, some kites are not bats. This A and B are totally variables. We can represent it with any other things like P and Q, A and X, 1, 2, like this it can be anything. We all know that pictures are perceived more efficiently than words. That's why we represent the statements pictorially in the form of Venn diagrams and we will solve it. So here the method of solving for syllogism is through Venn diagrams. So first statement, all A are B. All A are B we can represent in 2 variations or 2 representations we can give for all A are B. The first one, all A are inside B, whole A circle is inside B. The second one is whole A is overlapping on B. No A are B. In simple terms, A and B are disjoint set. This is type 2 statement. We have only one representations for no A are B. Some A are B, third statement. So some A are B we can represent in 4 variations. That is, first one, all A can be inside B. The second one, there is an intersection between A and B. Third one, A is overlapping on B. And fourth one, whole B is inside A circle. Fourth type of statement, some A are not B. First representation, some part of A are not B. Please observe this diagram with respect to no A are B. And second diagram, it is no A are B. So when no A are B, it's obvious that some part of A are also not B. Third diagram, whole B are inside A. So one can observe here that some part of A are left free and they're not overlapping on B. That part of A are not B. This is the sum up of all the statements and their possible representation. So one can pause the video and can note it down. Next important segment is what is conclusion. It is a judgment which is taken after a process of reasoning. So broadly we have 4 types of conclusions here. The first one, definite conclusion. In other terms we can call it as certainty. Second one, possibility conclusion. Third one, it's no conclusion. And the fourth one, it is restatement. Let's try to explore these types of conclusions in a little detailed manner. First, we will understand what is definite conclusion. So conclusions which can be stated without any doubt, that is 100% surety. Those type of conclusions are called definite conclusion. If we are talking in terms of Venn diagram, if a given conclusion is following in all the representations of the given statement or statements, then it is called a definite conclusion. Possibility conclusions are nothing but these are not 100% conclusion, but these are all probable occurrence. That is 1% to 99% they may occur. In terms of representations, if you want to talk about, so it should follow in at least one representation of a given statement. No conclusion is nothing but it is neither definite nor possibility. So in Venn diagram, it is following in none of the representation of the statement or statements. Restatement is nothing but the repetition of the given statement. That simple it is. So these are the four types of statements in four types of conclusions we will see in syllogism. So as I told before, so we have only four types of statements in syllogism. That is all no and some not. So for each and every statement, we can have 8 kind of conclusions here. That is all A are B, all B are A, no A are B, no B are A, some A are B, some B are A, some A are not B, and some B are not A. The main intention behind building this table is to understand among all these statements or like all these conclusions, which conclusion is definite, which conclusions is possibility, which is no conclusion, and which is restatement. Let's try to understand first with the all A or B. RS means restatement, P means possibility, NC means no conclusion, D means definite conclusion. So here for all A or B, what is all A or B? It is restatement only. Then for all A or B, what is all B or A? So as we all know, all A or B can be represented in two ways. That is first diagram and second diagram, whereas first one shows all A are inside B and the second one shows whole A is overlapping on B. Here for all A or B, all B or A, it's a possibility kind of conclusion. Why it is so? See, all B or A, it is following in only first diagram, first representation, but not in second representation. So that's why it is a possibility conclusion. So no A or B, it is a no conclusion, because in any of the diagram we can't see, like we are not seeing the no A or B like that. So A and B are disjoint set, we are not able to see in first or second representations of all A or B. Same logic applies for no B or A. Now some A or B. So some A or B, this is a definite conclusion. Why so? Let's try to understand with the first diagram. First diagram, since all A are inside B, it's obvious that some part of A are also B. Second diagram also, when all A equal to B, it's obvious some part of A are also B. And at the same time, when I say some A are B, it's obviously some B are also A. So here for all A are B, some A are B or some B are A. Both are definite conclusions. Some A are not B. So in first representation or in second representation, in both the representation, some A are not B, it's not following. So that's why it is no conclusion. Some B are not A, it's a possibility. Why? Because first diagram, some B, some part of B is not overlapping on A. In other terms, some part of B is free from A. So we can say that some B are not A is a possibility. Whereas in second representation, all A are equal to B, all B are equal to A. So we can't say some B are not A. But in first statement we can say, first representation we can say, that's why it is a possibility conclusion. Next we will see for no A or B. For no A or B, all A are B and all B are A are no conclusion. Because we can see only one representation is there for no A or B, and in that representation we are not able to convince anyone that all A are B and all B are A, because whole A are not B. it's obviously all A are B and all B are A are no conclusion. No A or B, this is a restatement because question itself is repeating. No B or A. When we say whole A are not B, so it's obviously whole B are not A. That's why it is definite. Some A are not B and some B are not A. So both are no conclusion here because we have only one representation, and in that representation we are not able to see some A is overlapping on B or some B is overlapping on A. Then some A are not B and some B are not A. When whole A are not B, it's obvious that some part of A are not B. At the same time, when whole B are not A, some part of B are not A is obvious. So both are definite conclusion. Next, we will try to understand some A or B scenario. Some A or B, we have four representations here. So each and every conclusion we have to represent or we have to cross check with all these four representations. Let's try to understand with this one. Some A or B. For some A or B, what is all A or B? So all A or B. In first diagram, it is not all A or B. So it is not a definite conclusion. Second diagram, it is all A or B. Third diagram, it is all A or B. Fourth diagram, it is not all A or B, which means all A or B is a conclusion which is following in second representation and third representation, not in first and fourth. That's why it is a possibility conclusion. For some A or B, all A or B is a possibility. Same way, all B are A. All B are A is possibility in third diagram and fourth diagram, whereas not in first diagram and second diagram. That's why it is a possibility. No A or B, no B or A. None of the diagrams shows A and B as a disjoint set. That's why both are no conclusion. Some A or B, restatement. Some B or A. In all the representation, some B or A. First one also some B or A. Second diagram also some B or A. Third one is also some B or A. Fourth one is also some B or A. That's why it is a definite conclusion. Some A are not B and some B are not A. Some A are not B. It is not following in all the representation. So for example, first representation it is following, but in second representation it's not following. So it is not a definite one, it should be a possibility. Whereas some B are not A. Some B are not A, it is following in first diagram, okay, but it is not following in fourth diagram. That's why it is not eligible for definite conclusion, it is a possibility conclusion. Next, the last one, some A are not B. All A are B, it is a no conclusion. Why? Because in none of the representation all A are inside B, we can't see that one. We have all B inside A, but not all A inside B. That's why it is a no conclusion. All B are A. So all B are A, it is a possibility diagram in a third representation of some not. So in first, second and third, so third one we can see that all B are inside A, whereas in second one no B are A. So no, some all B are A is a possibility for some A are not B. No A are B. So no A are B, it is possibility in second diagram but not in third diagram. So that's why it is a possibility again. For no B are A, same logic. It is following in second diagram, not in third diagram. It is possibility. And some A are B. Some A are B. It is following in third diagram but not in second diagram. Again it's possibility. Same logic applies for some B are A. Some A are not B. It's a restatement. Some B are not A. Some B are not A. So some B are not A, it is following in second diagram, whereas it's not following in third diagram. That's why some B are not A is a possibility. So this table will be very important and it will come very handy when we are solving the question. Anyhow, we don't have to memorize this table. So just for our better understanding of the concept, so we are just doing these things. So this is the summing up of all the statements and their definite conclusions and possibility conclusions. Please pass the screen and just note it down. It will be very useful. As we discussed earlier, syllogism, we are going to solve it in a Venn diagram approach. For that reason, so we already saw like all ARB we are having 2 representations, some we are having 4 representations, some AR not B we are having 3 representation, and no ARB we are having 1 representation. So when we see in the question as a statements and all, so we can't write all these representations for each and every statement. So that will be quite cumbersome for us. So for that reason, for each and every statement, we will take only one standard diagram just to represent when we are solving a question. So these are the minimum overlap diagrams of each and every statement. All A are B, so all A are inside B, that's one simple diagram. Some A are B, some A is overlapping on B, that's A intersection B. No A are B, anyhow no choice, we have only one diagram. Some A are not B, so we have chosen the minimum overlap diagram among 3 representations of some not. Syllogism is very interesting topic. If you want to learn more on this topic, so you can stay tuned for more videos on this topic from this channel. Thank you so much for watching. Happy learning.